Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield ship review. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Aegis. Oh, whoops, that's not the Aegis. So the Aegis doesn't have a tier because it is a unique version of another vessel. Each vendor has like a unique vessel that's based on something else. The Aegis is based on, coincidentally, the hoplite, as you can see there. So it's pretty much the exact same in terms of like structural stuff, but it's slightly different stat-wise. It has like a different loadout. Also, the one kind of because the unique ships are quite cool. You can tell because they have very bright colors. But the kind of one downside of them is as you get later on in the game, the stats just don't really, they're not really good. Now early on they're quite good, but yeah, later on they kind of become a bit of a problem. So anyway, let's get into it. So it has a fuel of 800, which is exactly like the hoplite. It's got, which, again, there's kind of a bit too much hull, or too much, not hull, too much fuel, if you ask me. I feel like we could cut it down and get a little bit more jump range. It's got a hull of 721, which is that the exact same? No, it is less hull. Now, the Hoplite 3 is an upgraded version, so just remember that. And then it's got the same cargo capacity of 200, which is, yeah, bit of a letdown. You'd kind of expect a little bit more cargo, but, you know, it is what it is. Got a B-class reactor with 21 power. Quite low. It's got a crew of 5. It's got a jump range of 29 light years. It's got a shield of 610. Which, not too bad. Good jump range. Really good jump range. And it's got 3 sets of weapons. It's got lasers, ballistics, and missiles. So the lasers are mounted under the winglets, there and there. The ballistics are mounted on the top there, on those horizon weapon defenses. And the missile is mounted on the back. So the price of this is 141,679 for me. Now that price will vary depending on your perks. If you don't have the max perks, probably about 200k. We're gonna purchase it. You can only find this vessel here
when you get serious about your
at Nikai. We are in Deimos Star Yard, which is orbiting Deimos, which in turn is orbiting Mars. So it should always be here because it's only sold here. But if you ever come here and it's not, just go to Mercury, land on the planet, wait 24 hours in game, and then come back and you'll be good to go. So we're going to go to our usual spot now to do the review. Alright, so we're in the usual spot. And as you can see, much like the hoplite, it's, I believe it's the hoplite, yeah. Much like the hoplite, it's very much wider than most of the vessels. Like a lot of the Deimos vessels, they're quite tight and like blade shaped, whereas this one's more like of an arrowhead, like a very broad arrowhead. Kind of reminds me of the longsword from Halo. If you ever played Halo, longsword is like a strategic. It's an interceptor, space interceptor, I think. But yeah, color scheme is very bright. I'd love it. I really wish there was like little lore blurbs for all of the like ships, because it'd be interesting to see like why did they go with this color. Just some random Deimos like engineer was like, let's do it. Anyway, we're gonna enter. Now I'm expecting the interior gonna be pretty much the same as before. So up we go into the Aegis. I like the name though. It's very cool. So immediately we have another 1x1 companionway with some doors. So behind door number 1 here is a 1x1 storage room. Pretty nice. And then over this way, yeah, much the same. We got a all-in-one berth. Got 4 beds here. Got a nice view of the side. We have a galley that does function. You just got to click randomly, and then we got some chairs. And then back here we have a control station for your crew. Pump up them crew numbers. Don't ask why I have a child working in a ship, you know. Start him young, I say. Oh, I should say that. Alright, so we head back this way real quick. So over here we have an engine room. Again, I like this. I said it the same in the other review. I like the engine room from a roleplay point of view, but from a gameplay point of view, it does nothing. It'd be nice if they like made it so that with an engine room, it increases your repair rate by like 100%. It just doubles the repair rate basically. And then if we go up on top here, we have another 1x1 storage room with a docking port on the bridge. And then we have the captain's quarters, which is very nice. As you can see, really, really nice. Got a view out there, port. Another starboard. Someone's trying to do equations. We have a navigation console here. The world's most uncomfortable bed. Desk to work on. And then we've got another desk with no chair. Alright, so if we go back down... I'll probably be uploading this the same time as the other... as the hoplite, so you can kind of see. They're pretty similar, just the color scheme, and I think they're going to lay out. And then we have the cockpit. I've said it many times now, it's kind of becoming a broken record. I think this is a cool cockpit, but I just don't like how like small it is. It's very much like a dropship cockpit and not like a combat vessel, like a true combat vessel, you know, like a corvette or like a frigate. But anyway, it has some seats for like your crew, but they're more for like if you had like security personnel. What I would love if Deimos did, if they had like a module that was just like this, but it was just loads of seats. Kind of like a Pelican style cargo hold. Anyway. Away we go. So as always, I have a perk that increases my power by 5. So for the sake of this review, we're not going to be using 5 power. That looks like we're going to have to move some of the power, because we currently have a bit too much and everything. Alright, so I'm gonna pull some power from the lasers. It's weapon-wise, we have those laser weapons there mounted there. Oh. Well, I've never actually used these. They're like fragmentation cannons from Elite Dangerous. They're actually really, really cool. Very cool. Okay, and then... I mean, the one positive already is it doesn't have a turreted ballistic weapon that the hoplite had. So, quick speed test. We have a base speed of 140, which is kind of expected. And then boost speed. I think it's gonna... Oh. Boost speed of 520. Very nice. Okay. We're gonna do a quick agility test. We're gonna do pitch. Oh yeah, this is quite fast. I'm guessing this might be using the 1050 engines. The yaw. Yaw is extremely fast. Okay, they're both like 910, and then roll is really good. All right, we're gonna head and do a teardown now. All right, so we have it torn down into 3 sections. Pretty much the same layout as the other one. So we've got the DS 10.1 Phobos cockpit from Deimos, 200 cargo, and 2 crew. And then behind that we have the Deimos companionway 1x1 with a 100 DP slim docker top. And then behind that we have the Deimos captain's quarters. Now for weaponry, we have... Just making sure with her. So we have mounted on these Horizon weapon mounts, we have 2 of these Mauler 106S shot cannons from Horizon Defense, B class, 960 range, 1.75 fire rate, 48 hull damage, and 4 max power. So pretty power heavy. And then we've got an Atlatl 270B missile launcher from Lightsight, B class, 4800 range, 1 fire rate, 71.39 hull and shield damage. And then we have the Aurora 12G grav drive from Deep Core. It's a B class, 10 max power, grav jump thrust of 30, which gives us 29 light years in the current configuration. Now hopefully they're selling the better grav drive. Are they going to be? Probably not. Okay, yeah, they are. So you can get the Aurora 13G, which would basically increase your jump range to 30 and give you a little bit more weight to play around with, if you want that. And then for the fuel, we have 2 of these Helium-3 H3 Atlas tanks from Dogstar, 400 each. Kind of overkill. I'd probably recommend swapping them a little bit. And then for the aesthetic pieces, we have a Deimos Cowling Fort, 2 of these Horizon weapon mounts. We have a Deimos Spine A4, a radiator, 2 portholes, 1 on each side, and then this Deimos tail. And the next part here, we have the 2x1 control station from Deimos. We've got a companionway 1x1, another storeroom 1x1, and then we have a Deimos engineering bay 3x1 and an all-in-one berth 3x1. And at the back here for the engines, we have the Nova 1050 engines from Relodyne, B class, 3 max power, 22,170 engine thrust and 4,500 maneuvering thrust. So weirdly, despite this being the cheaper version, this has the best of those Nova engines. The Hoplite Tier 3 one I looked at only had the 1040, which is kind of a bit of a letdown. And for the reactor, we have a Z Machine 2000 reactor from Amadon. It's a B class, 21 power. It's pretty low on the scale. I would recommend immediately upgrading to the 104DS. You also get double the hull, which is really, really nice. You're getting an extra 18 power. Now, it's going to be quite expensive. It's also going to require you to have Starter Design 4 as well as Piloting 3. That's probably about 50k. So 2.5 times more expensive, but it's not a bad upgrade. And then we have the 22T Defender Shield Generator from Dogstar, B class, 6 max power, 610 shield. Now, you know what I'm going to say here. If you're flying a UC ship, you're going to be using UC gear. And I would recommend just slapping this bad boy on. 1450 shield, and 12 power. So you're using double power, ignore that. But you're also getting way more, almost over double shield, which is very nice. And then for the for the weapons, I forgot them. Underneath, on each winglet, we have this Scorch P60 megawatt pulse laser from Lightside. B class, 1500 range, 2.5 fire rate, 32 damage to shield, and 4 power each. Again, quite power hungry. I personally don't like having like all of the power. Like if I have obviously the power available to me, but you know, sometimes you might not. For the structural pieces, we got 2 of these Deimos braking engines here. We have 2 Deimos wings A, a port A, and starboard A. And then we have 4 spines, 2 mounted in the front and 2 mounted in the rear, spine A, and then 2 of these spine Bs here and here. And then we have on the bottom, we have this 120 LD landing bay from Deimos. We have a Deimos hull A, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 320 CB landing gear from Deimos, and then 2 of these Deimos Skeg A's. So one of the first things I'd recommend doing, just for the sake of it, so I would remove these 2 storeroom. I would slap this control station here, and then I would recommend putting a workshop here, just because it's handy having a workshop. And just because when you get into the ship, you instantly access the workshop. Now we're going to put the ship back together, and we're going to do some upgrades. Now, I'm not going to change too much of this, because I feel like it is a unique ship. I want to keep it as same as it is. I'm going to make some slight improvements. If you want to see a more kind of upgraded version, check out my Hoplite review I did recently. So the first thing we're going to do, obviously, is we're going to remove that shield. I'm going to put that shield down there, and we're going to go with the best reactor we can get, which is this bad boy here. No, can't do that. I'm going to snap you in there. Perfect. And then we put this shield up here for the moment. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to move this landing gear, or this bay, more forward. So I'm going to put this here, just same as the last one, and we're going to flip it back. I'm putting this here just because I like a little bit more space. Now, you don't have to put it here if you don't want to, but it's just handy to have. And then we've got these extra spots underneath. Because what I'm going to do with these underneath spots is I'm going to mount the reactor down here, like so. We're going to get a 1x1 storeroom, and we're going to put that storeroom here, right here. Perfect. And then the reason I'm putting the storeroom there is because I'm going to put the docker on the bottom, just to kind of get out of the way. And then what I'm going to do, because those fuel tanks are like acceptable, but I'm going to move them. And I'm going to just put a fuel tank underneath. Just a little, where are they? Fuel tank. I'm going to put one of these bad boys underneath. Just, it's more than adequate fuel. Now, what I would recommend doing, we're going to move the back section forward slightly, because I feel like you don't need this companionway. So we're going to move this forward like so. And we're going to basically bring these with it. Like that. Perfect. I'm going to put those windows there. Like so. Now this landing gear here. So I'm going to merge this in, just because. We're going to slap this in there like that. Is it going to want to snap there, actually? Yeah, okay, it will. We're going to test it real quick. So all we're basically going to do is we're going to slap this like so. We're going to move this storeroom out of the way very briefly. Actually, remember, like I was saying, you're going to basically want to put the control station there, duplicate it, and you're going to want to put a workshop in there like so. Perfect. Now, so we're going to remove this control station briefly. We're going to put this here like so, and then we're going to duplicate it down like that. Perfect. And then we're just going to put this back in. Now, I put this here just because, yeah, I think it looks okay. I think I did it the other way around in the other video, but I think it looks quite nice. Now, the only real change is, because like I said, I'm going to keep it as similar as possible. Now, for the shield, we're going to hide the shield, because, you know, you got to hide that, like so. And then we're going to flip it. Now, like I said in the other video, you don't have to do these merge techniques, but they're kind of handy just for hiding certain things. They don't affect the combat of the ship. The shield will still drop like normal. It's just kind of, it just looks nicer. And then we're going to place this like so. We're gonna swap these around just because I like having this at the back. So I'm gonna move this forward like so. We're gonna put the windows back like so, and we're just gonna put this grab drive underneath. And the reason I like the grab drive there is because I think it balances well with this little radiator. Now for the structural pieces, we're gonna go and we're just gonna get another one of these Deimos pieces, this spine here, like so. Gonna slap it there, and we're just gonna basically make sure it's the same color. So you just grab it, and you basically just, all you do is like so. Perfect. And then for the weaponry, so we're going to be removing these maulers, and we're going to be replacing them with the Vanguard variants that are far better. I'm gonna bring one of them back just to compare them real quick. So we've got the Vanguard Hellfire autocannon. So the main difference on them, as you can see, they look the same, but these are both B-class. They both have a range of 960. However, these ones have a fire rate of 7.5, and they do 18 hull damage, so they do far more DPS, and they only require 2 power. So I'm just going to put 2 here, like so. No, come on now. Hello? You want to play ball? We're going to have to move this out to make it snap. No, up, up. Why do you not? Okay, we're just gonna have to. If it's being finicky, best thing to do is just snap to the bottom and then press duplicate, and then there we go, perfect. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, just because we're keeping the layout the same, as much as we can. Now for the atlatl, I'm just gonna move this back a little bit, like that. Perfect. And then underneath, we're going to be getting rid of these laser weapons because they're not bad, but you know, we're going Vanguard, so we might as well go all out with the Vanguard, you know. So we're gonna use some of these Vanguard obliterators, and we're gonna mount 2 on the winglets like so. And then if you really wanted to, you could mount 2 up here. Or potentially, I'm going to actually, you know where I'm going to put them? I'm going to put them here. Come on. Snap like so. Yeah, like that. Perfect. Now we're going to assign our weapons. So we're going to have them there. Put the Hellfire autocannons there. Perfect. And then that's pretty much it. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna actually put, just to, oh no, structural pieces, I'm just gonna do the same thing I did before. We're gonna put this here, like so, and we're just gonna have it the exact same color as this. Just to make it look all nice. No, I'm gonna remove, I know I said I'm not gonna change, but I'm gonna remove these windows just because windows are nice, but it's a combat vessel. We want something a bit, you know, more protected. And I'm gonna use some of these bad boys just because I really like how these look. And then we're just gonna grab them like so, and we're basically just gonna just fiddle them left and right, like perfect. And that is pretty much it. So you've got a little bit less fuel, but you've got way more armor, way more hull from the reactor. We've got a lot more guns to play around with. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of this, the Aegis in general. You guys flown it? It's a very cool looking vessel. Although I probably wouldn't fly it just because later on in the game, when you unlock the higher tier versions, you're better off just buying the Hoplite 3. But like starting off, if you, because I'm pretty sure you can get these like really like low level. Which if you can, getting those low level engines at like level 15, 20 is phenomenal. But anyway, as always, don't forget to subscribe if you like this sort of content, and check out some other reviews. Bye bye.